Hello everybody and welcome to our Community of Homes virtual programme. In these sessions we're going to be exploring creative well-being. We're going to begin each session with a meditation to help us relax our minds and our bodies and focus on being creative. We will also explore identity, our likes, our dislikes, and the similarities and differences we have from each other, which help make us the unique individuals who we are. Each week we will be guided by Sinead to create artworks using a range of different art materials. I would ask you to keep your original artworks safe, take photos of them and email them or WhatsApp them to me on the numbers and the email address that you have. By the end of this project we will create a book together, a book of our collective artworks, which will be a reflective tool for us to look back on our learning and the experiences we have had in this project, and it will also be a tool for our friends and our peers so that they can be introduced to the concepts of creative well-being as well. Thank you everybody and enjoy this session.
Self-care. This meditation is really valuable. This meditation is about you and how you look after yourself both mentally and physically. Try to imagine an old watch, very beautiful, still working like a dream, ticking and talking to a steady time. Each cog is handmade, unique, with the maker's stamp of approval on each tiny part. How the little teeth on each wheel fit gently and precisely into the other wheels, and all these small parts and cogs working in perfect harmony, their vibrations and energy moving those delicate hands of time across the watch face. Is it so strange to imagine that behind this beautiful face so much is happening? Like a swan gliding across the water, while underneath its feet are working like spinning propellers. Imagine that old and beautiful watch, thoughtfully made, so uniquely put together that each small cog has a purpose. Without it, the entire mechanism, how the watch works, would fail. Imagine yourself like one of those cogs. How valuable you are in the workings of the world around you. How valuable you are for just being you. How strong you are for getting through each day. And how you brighten each day when you smile. How the people that matter and care about you, the people who laugh with you, can easily see how valuable, how unique, and how awesome you really are. Sometimes we get too caught up in everything else around us to stop and remember how precious and how loved we are. We forget how we owe it to ourselves to take good care, love and speak nicely about ourselves. We forget how much we have changed and grown with experience and time. We remember now. We say to ourselves, I am valuable. I am precious. I deserve to look after myself, and I deserve to be loved. Let's come back to the room now and listen to the sounds around us. Blink your eyes 3 times, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and be ready to begin. your artwork. So for this activity, we're going to be looking at creative self-care. And you all got a stone kit in the post. Stones and paintbrushes and paints, and you have acrylic paints as well. And on this, in the stone kit, there's mandala book, which gives you diagrams and ideas for colour use and pattern. Now, what is a mandala? A mandala is symbol or diagram or a geometric pattern, and it represents the universe and is a symbol of self-care. So it's a symbol of completeness and unity. So each of my stones there is going to symbolise something different. I'm hoping to do one for love and one for calm and one for protection, and we'll see what happens. Maybe a power stone or something for the fourth one. You can find 3 stones that have already been painted white in your kit, and you can start painting straight onto those. The other stones you can paint onto also, so do have fun with that. I'm writing down words here that are important to me. You can dedicate your stones to different words or different feelings or different emotions. You could have health, you could have wealth, you could have knowledge, wisdom, whatever you decide yourself. So I've chosen protection and love for the self and love for others. And the colour chart the wee colour video that we had last week will relate to this, because as you know now, colours symbolise different things in different cultures. The mandala patterns in your books, they come from Buddhism and Hindu religions, and they're very popular all over the world now. And it's supposed to be like you're designing a mini universe. So this is your mini universe, and I have chosen power and calm. Calm because if I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, or anxious or worried or concerned, or overexcited about something, I need to calm myself down. So you can hold these stones in your hands after you have designed them and think about being calm. So I'm mixing up some paints here, and we have blue, 2 different types of blue, and I've added white to both so you can see the difference between them. I have 2 greens in my kit, and in your kit you'll have little wooden doweling rods that you can dip in, but I have to use a paintbrush here because I don't have a kit. So I'm coming up with my own patterns and designs, and what I've found from experience in painting the stones is that kind of go for maybe 3 colours, 3 or 4, and use lots of white to brighten and create contrast between the darker colours and the lighter colours. So I work in a flowering pattern here. If you have a baby wipe beside you, you can easily just wipe off once they're dry. Now, a hairdryer could be useful in between painting stones, because you need to kind of wait until they're dry before you apply the next layer. I'm using like a long toothpick there, like a skewer, a wooden skewer, and I find it very useful for putting some really nice patterns on it. You might too if you find one lying around the house, or you could use the tip of a pencil. It will do the same job. The end of the skewer was flat, so that gave me these lovely small circles. I had to be inventive because I didn't have the doweling rods that you lot have. So you choose your colours related to those emotions. This is protection, and on one side of this stone I am creating a bit of chaos, and you'll see from the photograph at the end that I've turned the stone around and done a little sort of almost like a little single cell circle, which is me inside that single cell circle. So I'm being protected from all the chaos going on around me. And the little toothpick was very useful, or the skewer was useful with a very fine point, and you can use that for the end of your pencil to give that effect also. And inside every circle do sort of complementary colours or different colours, and you can join them up with little white dots. I didn't use any of the designs in the book, I just developed my own because kind of ad-libbed it a wee bit there. Now I am mixing again blue and green there. Or, yeah, was it blue and yellow, sorry, to make a green. Excuse me. I'm mixing blue and yellow there to make a green. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and some green from the other shade of green, just so you can see the difference that you can get. You can lighten down a colour using yellow rather than white. And likewise, instead of adding black to a colour, you can use a little bit of the brown that I have on the top right of my circle there. And I'm mixing there some red and green to make brown. Just a couple of wee hints. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing your work, so enjoy.
What is self-care? Self-care is about the actions we take to look after ourselves. It can be any activity you do which helps maintain and build your well-being. Why do we need to practice self-care? Life can be busy. Sometimes we spend most of our days doing activities others expect us to do. Whether it's tidying our rooms, attending school, doing homework, chatting with friends, looking after our siblings or pets. All of these things have to be done, and they mean that we have less time to spend taking care of our own needs. There are different ways that we can help ourselves, and here's some simple self-care habits that are proven to help us feel better and strengthen our well-being. 1. Exercise. You don't have to run a marathon, going for a brisk walk, going for a cycle, whatever works for you. 2. Meditate or take deep breaths, and we have touched on these in previous sessions. 3. Take a break. Give yourself time. 4. Spend time with positive people. Spend time with the people who make you feel good about yourself. 5. Laugh. Everybody needs a good laugh. 6. Eat your greens. Vegetables are not the enemy. 7. Try not to eat too much junk food. Junk food leaves our bodies feeling tired and sluggish. 8. Draw, write, paint, be creative. 9. Learn to say no. Sometimes. You don't always have to go out with your friends. You don't always have to do things. You can say no sometimes. 10. Stop overthinking. Sometimes there is a train of negative thoughts that runs through our minds, and we just have to stop that train, and we have to focus on the positives. Rather than letting the negative thoughts come into your head, replace them with positive thoughts. Think about one good thing that happened today, or one kindness you did for someone else, or a kind gesture someone gave you, and focus on the positive. That is self-care.